So this is our next type of function, the average function. Like I said in the previous model, average is the total value of a particular number divided by the total number of occurrences or subjects. In a simple term, summation of a number divided by its total occurrence or subject. Let's head over to the next slide. Let me explain this in more detail. Okay, this is some set of data from S1 to S5. So the total number of S1 to S5 divided by the total number of occurrence. What I mean by the total number of occurrence, I mean this is the first occurrence, this is the second occurrence, this is the third occurrence, this is the fourth occurrence, and this is the fifth occurrence. So we have total occurrence here 5. That is why it's divided by 5. If we have extra occurrence here 6, which is S6, now the total number of occurrence will now be 6. So this now will now be divided by 6. So we now have S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, S6 divided by 6. So this is how to calculate average. On a nutshell, this is the basis of calculating average. Let's head over to our Excel and see how we can use this function to calculate average. So this is a set of data for student analysis, the records that we are going to use to achieve the function average. This is how we are going to calculate it. From the Excel table here, we have their personal information, we have their model, the model 1, we also have the model 2, and we also have the summary for each of the students here. So in total number, we have 14 students, and we are going to calculate their total and also their average at the tail end. So let's go over the first student and see how we can calculate the total and also achieve the average. Like I showed us in the previous model, we simply hold down our mouse key and select, then automatically we calculate our total. So I simply hold over to my sum function and add my total. You can simply drag down, or you can do it manually one by one. For sake of time, they just drag it down and achieve other totals for the students. So these are the total numbers for each of the students. Now let's head over to our main topic, which is the average, calculating the average using the average function. To calculate the average function, you can either choose to use any of these methods. The first method we apply is the manual method. We simply apply our equal to and we type average. Notice that as you are typing, automatically Excel brings out average for us. Now Excel will give us a hint, like I explained to us, of what that particular function is actually meant to do. What average does is that it returns the average arithmetic mean of its arguments, which can be numbers or names, arrays or references that contain numbers. So this is what average does in Excel. So it has given us hint. Now let's move on to the next step by opening up a bracket. After I've opened up a bracket, now let's pick up our argument. And the first argument we want to pick is argument E4. Okay, so we type our E4 and I say picks it up. Now the next average we want to also talk about is applying the next average on J4 and apply J4. So it now picks it up. So the next thing, we close our bracket and hit our enter. So Excel automatically gives us the average of what the student has scored across the modules for module 1 and module 2. So 64.5. Another way to calculate the average is by applying the pattern we use to achieve our AutoSum. So once we go over to our formula, we use the AutoSum. Under the AutoSum dialog box, we can choose average and get our value for average. To achieve that, what we simply do is to select the range of values we want to apply, the average. Notice one thing, that the total is here. Like I told us, to apply AutoSum, you must include an empty space that your answer will be applied. What we do is to hold down our control key and click on this particular cell that we want our answer to apply. Automatically, what Excel did now was to skip this cell for total and move over to the average, where we held down our control key and press our mouse. So to apply the AutoSum now, or the average using the AutoSum method, we simply go to formula. Now this is the AutoSum where we applied AutoSum, but instead of clicking this AutoSum, what you do is to click on this down pointing arrow here. Once you click on it, automatically you see the sum for average. So once you click on average, Excel automatically calculate the average, giving us a hint if we want to calculate the average based on our previous average. But since that is not what we want, what you simply do is to hit your backspace key. So once you click your backspace key, automatically Excel now assume that you don't want that, and it will give you your answer based on what you have calculated. Now this student, which is Billy, had 70.8333. To understand what Excel actually did to give us this average value, you simply hold over to your formula bar and you'll see that Excel actually did the calculation. Equals average, bracket open, E5, okay, our column to J5, okay. So we can simply drag that now to get the other averages from other students. So these are the averages of the students. So what we have achieved on this model so far is how to calculate total and also calculate the average. We also apply different methods on how to calculate average. I will see you in the next module.